Monday. Do you know I was about to say it was Friday? Wow. Okay, it's Monday, November the 9th. And I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. All right, so had to take a sip of my tea. I'm getting situated here, is what I'm doing. Because I was listening to my music. I was listening to Keisha Cole. And then Celine Dion. Well, I listened to a Mariah Carey song, Love Takes Time, which is a beautiful song. It's on her debut album. And then I was listening to Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now, which is on the Falling Into You album, for those who don't know. And I put it on pause. I was like, let me go get my tea. I got my tea. And I'm getting situated in doing that. So where am I at? What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about Amazon. So Amazon, I got a credit on one of my items today because it was delivered, which I have another delivery coming from Amazon with more grocery because I order separate because on Amazon it has the fresh and the Whole Foods. And sometimes the Whole Foods has stuff that the fresh doesn't have. So I order from both of them. So my Whole Foods order came. My fresh order's on the way. So my Whole Foods order came, and I usually order this deli turkey with no salt. And I didn't even know that existed. And it does. And ever since I discovered that, I order it all the time, which I told you guys about that. Well, this time when I ordered it, they got me the wrong deli turkey. It had salt, which I can eat stuff with salt in it. I just don't like to, because for those who don't know health, just to tell you a little health fact or whatever, the human body only needs like 1,500, milligrams or something. I know the number is 1,500 a day. It's like a fourth of a teaspoon or something. Is some small amount of salt. But obviously, if you read the back of any label, salt is in everything. They load everything up with salt. And it drives me crazy. So when I can avoid a lot of salt, I will avoid a lot of salt, And when I had discovered the turkey, I was like, okay, well, I got that for the deli meat now. Let me just start doing that. And this time they got me the one that has salt in it. So I told Amazon, hey, you messed up. And then they gave me a credit because that's what Amazon does. If you tell them you have an issue, they usually issue you a credit. All right. Now that that's done, I need to go ahead and wrap this up because, as I said before, I have another order coming, and more than likely they're going to be here in a few minutes. Build yourself up is what I'm talking about today. And also I have some news too. I'll tell you the news after I finish, long as I don't forget, which hopefully I won't. But while I'm talking, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, KIRWKC on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. If you're watching this on YouTube or Daily Motion, don't forget the subscribe button followed by the notification bell. That will let you know when I upload new videos. All right, got social media stuff out the way. Back to what I was saying. Build yourself up. Build yourself up can mean several things. It could mean where you build yourself up on a professional level. Let's say you acquire more skills to make your resume more alluring, more put you more in demand and stuff. So with professional skills, build yourself up mentally, build yourself up emotionally, build yourself up physically. Where you want to go to the gym, I mentioned that before. Build yourself up. This, which I've talked about these things before when it comes to ego, self-love, loving yourself, blah, 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 blah. It's all in the same vein. But this is more of a battle cry, is what this is. Telling you to take the initiative and do it, even if it's in baby steps. One thing that I heard from this tarot card reader, she is on, if you ever want to check out some tarot card readings, one good tarot card reader, and I really enjoy her. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but I know her channel. It's called Truth Well Told Tarot. She's really good, very interesting. And she has an accent. I think she's Australian or New Zealand or something. But Truth Well Told Tarot. One thing that she always says when she's pulling cards, when she's talking about hope and things like that and taking the initiative and all this other stuff, she says small steps lead to giant leaps. And she says that a good bit, where she said it more than once, obviously. And that's how I feel about the build yourself up, where I have to take another sip of this tea because my mouth, even though I feel like I'm spitting everywhere, it still feels dry for whatever reason. So I need to take another sip of the tea. Give me a second. Okay. So with taking small steps, some people, they don't do that. They don't do affirmations. They don't give themselves credit if they do something good, or have those moments where they're proud of themselves for doing something. It's build yourself up. If you, and I hate to use physical and material stuff because life is so much deeper than that. It's just, I go straight to the physical and the material stuff because it's easier to relate to and it's easier to, I guess you could say quantify or whatever on a level of understanding. So that's why I go to that. But obviously there's other things involved, like I mentioned before, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, so on and so forth. Okay. However, I'm just going to go with the physical because it's easier to get your hands around. So if you decide, hey, I want to lose a pound or two, then I'll just say 5 pounds. All right. Hey, I want to lose 5 pounds. Then if you lose a pound after a week of going to the gym regularly, or either, which you don't have to go to the gym, you can work out in your home, which I need to make a habit of doing. I need to start moving around more. I used to do my aerobics and stuff, but I haven't even been doing that lately, and I need to really, really work on that. But I digress. If you, after you go to the gym regularly or do your aerobics or do this or do that, and then you lose a pound in a week, that is a moment, even though a pound may not seem like a big deal, that is a moment to build yourself up. That's what I'm talking about. To kind of pat yourself on the back, give yourself credit, and say, wow, okay, I really did something. I'm on my way. Instead of, universe, give me the words to articulate this. Instead of just treating it like it's just a task, like it's just a regular task. You know what I mean? Like you're on the treadmill, I guess, pun intended almost. Like you're just doing things. Like it's just a run of the mill thing. Like you're going to the grocery store or something like that, or whatever, is what I'm talking about. Where you have to stop and smell the flowers. Smell the flowers. Do that. And building yourself up is one of those smelling the flowers moments. Now, you don't want to get too caught up in it. As I said before, smell the perfume, don't drink it. You just want to acknowledge, like, wow, I really did that. Or I'll give you an example. Let's take it to an emotional level. Let's say that you're trying to work on your reaction, your emotional reaction to people. Let's say you have a relative in your family. They know how to say that thing that really just gets under your skin. And your usual reaction is you just want to clap back. That's your usual reaction. But you're working on emotional growth, and you don't want to be that person anymore. So you make a conscious effort to not get drawn into that energy. Now, some people, there's a caveat for everything. Now, some people you need to say something back to. Let's make that clear. But that's another show for another day. Let's stay on this. You don't want to get drawn into that energy. Okay. So that relative or person, coworker, pick your poison, says something to you, gets under your skin, but you don't react. And the moment passes and things stay calm and steady. And that's it. And after that moment passes and things stay calm and steady and you didn't get drawn into that energy, that's a moment to pat yourself on the back, build yourself up, to say, wow, I'm proud of myself. I didn't let them get to me this time. Those are the things I'm talking about. When it comes to affirmations, build yourself up. Go back to the 5-pound thing, fine. Affirmation, okay. I'm going to work hard to lose 5 pounds in 5 weeks. That's your affirmation. And you're doing that. It's where you're saying, I'm going to lose 5 pounds in 5 weeks. You're preparing yourself. You're setting it in your mind. You're setting the goal and you're putting it in there. You're saying it every day and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're building yourself up to accomplish your goal, because that's what affirmations are for. Also, affirmations are to let you know that you're capable, or you have attributes that exist. So you can pick either or, that you're capable of doing something or that you have attributes that exist. Some people say affirmations like, I'm wealthy, I'm whatever, I have this, I have that, I have a husband, I have 2 kids. Even though they don't have a husband and 2 kids, their affirmation is that they have these things because they're speaking it into existence. And they're pretty much claiming it, but they're building themselves up because they're believing in what they say. And that's what it boils down to. They're believing that, thank you. Okay. They're believing that they're worthy. That's what it is. They're believing that they're worthy. And that's what I'm talking about with the building yourself up, where you're saying things or you make progress in an area. You're acknowledging to yourself, when you stop to smell the flowers, you're believing that you're worthy. Whether it is you affirming it, even though it hasn't happened yet, or whether it's happened, like the example I gave you, where the person says something that usually gets under your skin, but then you went ahead and it didn't bother you. And your whole thing before that was emotional growth and how you react to things. And you didn't react, and stopping for that moment, recognizing that you didn't react, and saying, hey, I grew emotionally. That I am worthy of this. I'm worthy of having a more mature response. I'm worthy to ascend to a level where I can emotionally respond better. I'm worthy to have the husband or the wife or the kids or the car or the house, or to lose 5 pounds or whatever. That's building yourself up and taking in the moment. Anytime there's an accomplishment that you have, hold on, gotta take another sip of my tea. I love hibiscus tea. I cannot believe I just discovered this like a year or two ago. Go figure. Out of all the things in the world I've seen. But I digress. But when it comes to an accomplishment, those little accomplishments, plural, those little accomplishments, those moments where things happen, or in other moments where you believe you have the ability to make things happen because you are worthy to make them happen. You're worthy to receive the things that you want, hence the affirmations. Those things are building yourself up over time, because after you have accomplished something that you may have affirmed, because your affirmation may have been to lose 5 pounds. Well, guess what? You accomplished the goal. You lost the 5 pounds in 5 weeks. All right. That's already building yourself up. Maybe because you lost that 5 pounds, you're like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and fit in these jeans again, or either I'm going to put on this bikini and go to the beach now, yada, yada, yada. Pick your poison. Those little things, that's what I'm talking about. But you have to be willing to believe that you're worthy, and you have to be willing to take notice when you do have your accomplishments. And you can't build yourself up unless you do that. You can't build yourself up unless you're willing to pat yourself on the back when you've accomplished something. You can't build yourself up if you're not willing to affirm things, to speak things into existence, to say, hey, this is what I have. Even though you don't necessarily have it yet, you're telling the universe you want it. And you believe you are worthy of having it. And you have to do those things to build yourself up. And it starts little by little. In example, the episode that I did from the ground up when I was talking about the apartment building that they were building little by little, they bring this in, do this in, and bring this and do that and do that and do this. Building yourself up as an individual. When I was talking about from the ground up, that was in the sense of nothing is overnight. Everything has to happen over time. Nothing's an overnight success. Nobody's an overnight success. There are situations, but usually behind the scenes, a lot of things happen that people don't even know about. But in this instance, when I'm talking about building yourself up, I'm talking about doing little by little at a time to make it known internally. Because again, it doesn't matter what other people think. What other people think is none of your business. Internally, you're building yourself up to say, hey, I'm worthy. All right, I lost this 5 pounds. Now what am I moving on to? Because I did that. You can pat yourself on the back. I did this. I decided not to respond as quickly to this individual who tries to get under my skin because I'm looking for emotional growth. I did well with that. And now it's become a habit. And now it has helped me ascend emotionally. And now I'm a better person because of it. And as these things keep on happening, and as you make it as long as you make a conscious effort to take note of things that you're doing, you're building yourself up. Because if you make a conscious effort to take note of the things that you're doing, and you're checking off all the stuff on your list and everything's happening in your life as you're doing this, as you're building yourself up, guess what? You have this beautiful thing, this thing that a lot of people have yet to master yet. It's called self-esteem. And you have also ego. So when you have those things, it makes your life easier. It makes you be able to take some of the emotional hits, some of the mental hits when things happen in life. Because when you take those emotional and mental hits throughout life, if you've already built yourself up mentally, where you've made a conscious effort as you went on your journey to say, wow, I accomplished this, I did this, I accomplished this, I accomplished that, I accomplished that. And you keep on going and you're building a strong self, a strong sense of self. When those hits come, your foundation will be so rock solid, you're going to stand regardless. But in order for you to stand on and be rock solid, you have to make a conscious effort to build yourself up. If you're not making a conscious effort to build yourself up on a regular basis, acknowledging the things that you have accomplished, or acknowledging your ability to accomplish things and that you're worthy to accomplish things, when those mental and emotional and all this other stuff comes at you, your foundation isn't going to be sturdy. And then you're going to get knocked down very easily. So that's why you have to make that conscious effort to build yourself up. And that's what I'm talking about. And that is my daily thought. So now I can get ready for my groceries to get here. And by the way, so my other thing that I was going to tell you that I totally, anyways, I now receive confirmation. As you know, Keeping It Real with KC is on 8 platforms. Well, now it's on 9, I think now. It's called TuneIn. I just got the approval email today. And there are other emails out to other distributors for this podcast. So now, if you go to TuneIn, my podcast should be available there within the next 72 hours. So now there is another place for people to listen to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. And there are other distributors who have received my show's information, and one very, very, very large distributor, they sent an email. I'm just waiting for the ink to dry, is what I'm waiting for. And as soon as the ink dries and I get the confirmation, I'll tell you who it is. If I don't get the confirmation, then you won't hear about it. But yeah, so now the podcast is officially growing. It's officially starting to be on even more platforms, available to more people around the world, which is totally cool. So yeah, that's all I have. Love you guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Totally awesome. Until next time, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, but you don't have to listen to that because we're going to be on several platforms due to this new distribution thing. Yeah, until next time, be blessed.